Grandpa Butler, recording how I do my thumbnail nature pictures with watercolor crayons and ink. Delighted to be here.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is a three-stage process. In the first stage, what we're going to do is we're going to do an ink drawing of an object from nature that we like. And then in the second stage here, we're going to color it with our crayons. They're watercolor crayons. In fact, they are these watercolor crayons. And today I'm going to use this Faber-Castell artist pen, fine liner, black to do the outlines. Once we've done the second stage here, on the third stage we'll put in a background, and we'll also put in more black highlights on our object here. In this case is the bird. So for today's lesson, we picked a goldfinch here, and a western tanager. And so what I've started to do while we were setting up the equipment is I've just done a brief outline here of the bird. So next what I need to do is I need to remember that the bird here is kind of off center. Okay, so this is our bird here, a western tanager, one of the most beautiful birds we find out here in the West. So I've made a rough beginning sketch here. And it's good enough, I think I can start getting in some details with my thing. I am letting my neuropathy take over for a second, so that'll be fine. Get my beak here, come around here and here and here. Follow the skull back here and get in some lines that will probably be roughed in later on. Come back here, get my tail feathers in. I've done this so that the bird is not exactly in the center here, and doing pictures of your favorite outdoor object that's not exactly in the center is probably a good idea. It makes it more interesting if they're on one side or the other here. So we got the underside here of the tanager, and we're going up here. So I want to put in a few more lines. I'll come back later and do a lot more lines, but it's going to kind of help remind me where the color is and where it is not. So we have a little section of kind of white feathers in here. And feathers coming down and going up in there. So we'll put in his feet, and then I think we can actually open up our crayons and begin to color the tanager. Now I love these crayons because they're both very colorful and they're easy to work with when I'm, say, in the mountains and on a backpacking trip and doing some work there. So I'll just leave them there. So it doesn't matter where you start. Just start somewhere where it's fun. So I think yellow is a fun color, and I do have yellow here. And so before I put the yellow down here, I'm going to erase the lines that we drew in to sort of get a start here. And I'll erase the tree branch lines when we actually get those in. So the yellow, we'll get the yellow in here, put it in here, and we'll put a little dab of yellow here and there. That beak to avoid black when I can. And so what I'm going to do, I think put a dark purple if I can find that here. And I'm going to put another yellow here on the underside here. A little darker yellow there. And so we're doing this in real time like I would do it if I was just anywhere. And of course the reds, we want a bright red in here. Almost orange looking there. So we've got those colors in. Now the back of him is black, but I kind of like to avoid black when I can. So let's try a dark blue and a red at the same time here. And we'll come up here. And there was our little stretch there of kind of white feather tips there. Blue there. And let's see if we can find maybe a red. No, that's another kind of. And we'll do the red and the blue together, because you can make black from them, and it just sounds like that'd be fun colors. So now we have the tail feathers here, and we'll put those in. Again, get my dark blue out on those underneath. And that looks like a good place to start. Let's make his feet like a ochre kind of color here, is whatever the feet of birds are called. Hopefully my brilliant engineer who's putting this together will choose some words to edit over it. Now what I could use to do the painting is a regular brush here. But for these watercolors, frequently find that these little brushes here are really fun to use, and not only easy, but they're very convenient to take when I'm going out in the field or on a cruise or something, which, my sweetheart, when you're listening to this, we need to schedule another cruise, my love. Okay, so here we go. We'll let these mix up, and then we'll come back and we'll get the beak here. So now we've got kind of our colors in here that we've done here, and maybe on here it's not exactly white, so we'll take some of the blue here and mix it up into those feathers there. Okay, now for the branch here. Branch, let's just pick a kind of fun couple of brownish kind of colors and come through here, and let's get a darker brownish color on the bottom here. And what we're going to do is we're also going to color in. We'll probably draw in a little while lines to further define the branch here, but I think we're good there. Now we want a tree, and we can do that all kinds of ways. But we're in a here we want to highlight the tanager, so we're going to hook the branch here. In fact, we'll hook the branch in there, and the tree will be a kind of western fir-like tree here, maybe a Douglas fir, white fir coming down here. This is more like probably a Douglas fir, huh? And we're going to, this is part of our background here, it's not the main thing we're coloring, so what we're going to do is just put a bunch of colors quickly around the tree here and there, and then we'll put them all together, smudge them kind of together. The one nice thing about working with crayons is I don't like to totally get rid of the lines that the crayons make. Rather, I love to incorporate them in the pictures, so I won't completely dissolve them. And so here we go, grab some more browns and some of this, and we'll quickly go through here. Lines here, lines up here. Maybe we'll have a line coming back out here. And on that we might even put a few green twigs. Okay, so the next thing to do is to color the tree by getting our water brush out and moving that around. And then we'll do some mountains in the background here. As our tanager's out, flew away from his normal city condo that he stays at, and he's out in the country, maybe with his girlfriend. Hopefully with his girlfriend, right? That's the best way to enjoy life. Okay, so here we have our tree. We could put some red colors in that. That would be kind of fun. But in the interest of time, see how fun this is. We're going to put this down here. Pull this in here. Now, it's better if you, when you're using these crayons, to dab rather than smear for most settings. And so here we're kind of dabbing along, making the tree solid here. Coming down to our bird, coming around, and then we're going to put some mountains behind the bird, and then we'll finish up with some more black lines. Now, we live out in the Rocky Mountain area, so we'll put Rocky Mountain kind of mountains here. Okay, so now this is going to be really fun. We could use lots of blues for this, but let's just, for this first fun adventure today, we'll do these. Now, these mountains are going to be a series of irregular triangles, and we'll put, well, I presume we're kind of looking maybe south, and so we put all the shadows mostly on the one side coming down into here. And then maybe we're having hills coming down here. We're following the lines of the hills along this ridge here. And maybe they're coming together on this other side, so we're following the lines here. And what we can do is we can use, leave a few spaces kind of clear so that what we think we might be looking at is actually snow here. So I think we've got enough mountains for our bird for right now. So let's put that in now. We have to be a little bit careful because we're going to make choices here about the snowfields, like maybe that's a snowfield there, and that's a mountain and mountain. So here's coming down. Maybe there's a little snow over here coming down. Okay, and put a little shadow over there. Maybe this is snow on the mountain top there. So you can see how fun that is, and even if you're an old man like me, you can see this is, you can still have enough fun to do this. Follow that ridge down. And what I want to do here on the bottom is just add a little bit of color down there. Okay, and so we're having the, okay, so now we're done with step 2. We're not going to take time to fill in the sky, but you can see how easy that would be doing. But maybe we're not quite done with step 2. I said, oh, maybe we ought to add little leaves coming out here and there. So pine needles. A little bit over the top, but why not go over the top on the first day? We'll have some pine needles up there. I can feel the heel of my hand kind of flopping into some of the wet things over here. I think that green was nice. Again, dab. What you want to do is you want to dab. You don't want to generally smear. For one, it fits your neuropathy really well when you dab instead of smear. Okay, step 3 now. Step 3, we're going to add some lines in here. We get our pen to work. And next time we do this, I'm going to remember to bring out a couple of pens. He says even as he reaches for another one here. Ooh, that's really fine. Let's see how that helps. Yeah, that helps. Well, apparently. Okay, we're going to put a little lines here. I'm twisting the pen in my hand so the print stuff here. But what I mostly want to do now with the pen as we finish this up and add some details in here. So I mostly want to highlight my bird, our bird that we're doing. So now he reaches for another pen. How about this one here? Okay. Oh. Okay, so this pen is cooperating a little bit better. So we're just going to turn that a little bit. Highlight that down there. Okay, but we want to make the bird here stand out. So believe it or not, this is the part of Grandpa's style here, is to get these in the third stage, is to add some more lines to make our nature objects stand out. They don't have to be straight. In fact, they can be straight around a curve here. We can draw them here and there even to indicate a few feathers or to establish where our feet are better. Okay. So as I get used to this and less nervous, we'll be better at getting all this in. But there, I think we've got our bird. And thank you for watching us create a Western tanager, a lovely bird for us lovely people. Thank you.